Hello everyone, this is Advocate Nidhi Singh from NRI Legal Services. Today giving you advice consultation on the topic of will. We get a lot of inquiries and there are a lot of misgivings on the Indian will vis-a-vis a person staying overseas, and a lot of confusion on this matter, which I would like to quickly address. What are the relevant features that you must ensure regarding a property which needs to be transferred in India by way of will. As we all know, a will is a document which comes in force after a person is deceased, conveying the wishes of that person regarding his immovable and movable assets. Now, till this part, this is the same universal factor which governs a will anywhere or everywhere in the world. But in India, there are special things that you must know before you are trying to draft a will for the Indian property, and especially for non-resident Indians. This document needs to be very specific. So my first recommendation is that if you are a non-resident Indian living overseas and you are wanting to make a will for your property in India, do not ever club it with your English or your American or your Canadian property, wherever you are living at the country of your residence. Now, for an Indian property, always make a separate will clearly stating that this is regarding your Indian property. This will dispel a lot of confusion. For an Indian will, the format has to be Indian. There is a specific format and you need to adhere to that format. Having said this, a very important feature of the will is registration of the will. A lot of questions and a lot of inquiries on whether the will should be registered or unregistered comes to us. I would like to tell you, yes, the registration of a will is important, but it is not mandatory, and there is a very fine difference. If you have an Indian will separately made out for an Indian property, that is a very good start. But that registration process has to be done in India. And the registration process can only be completed if a person appears in front of the office of the sub-registrar and registers the will, himself or herself. Now, this is sometimes not possible for people who reside overseas. So what is the option? The option then is that you must, even if you are making a will overseas for an Indian property, make it in the format that subscribes to the Indian laws. One. Number two, get it notarized, get it even endorsed by the High Commission, or apostle it through an Indian High Commission or an embassy. But the most important thing is witnesses to the will. You should have two witnesses who, in case the will is ever challenged, are willing to testify in court. The principle that governs the will is testifying of witnesses. So the most important thing and the most important ingredient in an Indian will is to get the witnesses to testify the genuinity of the will. In case a will is challenged and the witnesses are not there to testify, the will is most likely to be set aside. In India, the governing law is natural succession, and will is not the primary document. Yes, will can be the basis of transfer of the property only and only if the will is in a required format. Some of these things have to be kept in mind when you are making or drafting an Indian will. We have a lot of information, a lot of DIYs, do-it-yourself formats on our blogs, on our social media. Our teams are constantly upgrading, updating information regarding wills. I would really recommend you to subscribe to all our social media channels, also go on our blogs, and a lot of articles on the wills have been written from specific angles and perspectives. If you read those, I'm sure all your queries regarding the wills will be answered. We are constantly endeavoring to get to you with the latest information on what is happening regarding the laws in India. A lot of my videos are already there, and whenever there are a bulk of inquiries on a particular topic, we come forward and deliver deliver an information video just like this one. I'm sure you would like them if you go on our channels and if you subscribe. If you find this information useful, kindly share it with more people who can actually use this information. Likewise, please send us any inquiry, any question. Our teams are very, very prompt to answer them. They would get back to you at the earliest with the adequate and appropriate responses from the legal team. NRI Legal Services is committed to deliver quality legal services to non-resident Indians based all over the world.